Hola amigos, here is Alokanand on my emotional Friday mood. And guess what? Today we're gonna talk about sex. It is probably the touchiest issue that we can address. I mean, you know. And I mean it in every sense of the word. We heard everybody that reached some level of wisdom in life say how difficult relationships are. And, well, we all know how true it is. Whether that is your relationship with your parents when you were small, your relationship with your sisters or friends, teachers, your relationship with, partners, lovers, neighbors, authorities, relationships in general. And, well, what makes them so difficult and what makes them so complex? It's sex. It's all about sex. And I have been attending RAS courses one way or another for more than 13 years now. And obviously, given the nature of my design, I felt a particular curiosity about understanding the mechanics of sex, as I am so powerfully defined in my solar plexus, in my design. So, truly this understanding about, just the fact that everything has a mechanic, including something as irrational and something so volatile and impossible to control, like the sexual nature of our emotional impulses. And it wasn't difficult to see how much it is all a question of sex. You see, when I saw Ra take the body graph apart and reveal the structure and nature of the circuits for the very first time, I mean, long time ago, it was so hilarious to arrive at the defense circuit, this sacral smile, and see how much truly sex is at the core of everything that is human experience. But you see, listen to my words. I'm saying how much. I could see how much, everything was one way or another related to sex. And, later on, I saw him actually put so much the focus on the actual specific mechanisms that allow us to differentiate different forms of libido that will originate or look for or respond to a particular type of experiences that go with that specific chemistry. And then we went another step. We could see the sexuality by type, by profile. And this last Sunday, he started this wonderful course online about type, sexual signatures, and transference, color transference. And I was really struck, as so many times with human design, and you see not so much by the fact that all of a sudden, you find something that's really new and gives you a totally new perspective on things. No, it's just like suddenly opening up an angle of understanding that allows you to really see that we are truly helpless, that there's nothing, absolutely nothing that we can do in order to control those forces. And how much sex is the drug, the drug that ensures homogenization. That means, exactly, the drug that, will impose on you, will make you happy to be conditioned. Let's put it that way. It's the drug that says, who cares about being me? Who cares about being an individual? This is the real fun. And the real fun is over there. The real fun starts when somebody else is there and we can make the connection that may lead to the experience of experiences. Oh yes, we want it, don't we? We want it so badly that we are ready to pay any price for it. Any price. Including the one of, if you can't have what you want, what you think you should have, not have any, And maybe I got a little bit too twisted, but basically what I mean to say is that the sexual experience brings in conflict into our lives so much and so deeply that many people, simply avoid it. It's part of the not-self strategy of the undefined solar plexus of avoiding confrontation and truth, thinking that way you can, get away with paying an emotional price. Because you see, this experience of experiences that is sex, the way we establish the connection is not correct. It is entirely in the hands of our not-self. So we get a sexual experience in which we get absolutely distorted, into which we already entered distorted by our identification with, how those things are supposed to be, supposed to happen. Didn't we all start off with that? So we do not get the promise. We do not get the fulfillment of the promise. We just get to pay a terrible emotional price, which is the loss of dignity, the loss of integrity. And, love becomes hate, doesn't it? Through this dependency that gets created by having entered incorrectly, with no clarity, totally pulled away by our not self. And that makes up for a very, very, very frustrated body that holds a even more frustrated mental body, not self, that is deeply, 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 deeply unhappy with its life. And at the core, it is deeply, deeply, deeply unhappy with its sexual experience, even though, you may not know, you may not even notice. As I said, many people avoid sex completely, spiritual people that realize how much sex is a drug. They think they can just do with any other drug, You don't smoke, you don't drink alcohol, you don't have sex. And of course, when I say, or when I hear Ra say that sex is the drug, I do not mean in any moment that it's a drug you can transcend by not taking it. No, not at all. But I think it is very much the drug where, if you learn to deal correctly with this drug, you can for sure deal with all the others after all. Well, you see, if you do not deal correctly, if you didn't learn how to deal correctly with this powerful drug that is sex, all the other drugs, they're so easy to simply become a way to compensate for your sexual frustration. And you will notice that you have the very same attitude towards those drugs than you would have towards the sexual experience, because it is basically the pleasure principle at work, and it is the pleasure principle in the hands of our not self. So because we are absolutely driven by that pleasure principle, there's no way we can escape being homogenized. There is no way we can avoid meeting the bitterness, the frustration, the anger that comes with living a life, with living a sexual life whose agenda is in the hands of your not self. Oh, how badly it hurts. You see, we never knew how to be correct in sex. And I find it so amusing that, this Channel 3635, the Jack of all trades, in the context of the mechanics of sexuality, this is seen as the channel of sexual talent or sexual creativity. What I find amusing is the sixth line of the Gate 35. It's called correction. In a way, it's the only line that's called correction. There are other lines that are beautiful and they can be correct or not. But this line, it's the experience, and it's the diversification of experience, the correctness that can be there in any experience. And you see how much that is intrinsically related to having reached to a place in your sexual maturity where you know how to be sexually correct. That means how to live the right sexuality that your body is designed to have. And giving up the sexual obsession of your mind that wants to control the timings, the places, the people that you share those experiences with. And it's so the conditioning about sex, it is so much at the core of the way in which we interact with the outside world, that we are absolutely locked in there in our mental bodies. So there's truly nothing that we can do other than practice daily, with every breath, in living our lives, in moving according to our type's strategy and the inner authority that it is designed to express any time that it meets with another. My God, this issue of sex. I really like to talk about sex. Every time I talk about sex, I realize how much I have to say. And I was giggling before. Human design has taken me to a place in my life where I am very public, and in this I have come to hear so many times what a nice voice I have. And I realize it's such a sexual voice, you know what to do. And the point is that there's so many ways to go into looking why sex is so attractive and why it brings so much shit into our lives. And anyway, learning how to deal with that is what we can learn most from. Truly, when it comes to living out your authority correctly, I think in no other place will it make such a deep, deep difference in the way you perceive yourself and your connection to the world than in your sexual life, in the realm of your intimate, where decisions are most transcendent. But I want to keep it short. My time is running out. And today is Friday 13th. I think it's a perfect day to have sex and to practice with your type and strategy so you can have it correctly. I'll be back next Friday, amigos. Hasta luego. Bye.